Here comes Hewy, gonna give you the news. Time to watch his animated movie reviews, whether hand-drawn, CGI, puppets or clay. If you've got a good story, you'll be making his day. See you at the movies, cartoon movies. See you at the movies, overrun news. See you at the movies, like nobody's business. Hey, see you at the movies, animated movies that is.
Hey everyone, I'm Hewy Toonmore. Welcome to Hewy's Animated Movie Reviews, the show where I review animated films from old or recent, whether they be hand-drawn, stop-motion, or computer-generated. And boy, do I have a real doozy for you today.
First, I want to begin with Robert Zemekis' studio, Image Movers Digital, or at least what's left of it. I say that because it's been under a lot of heat recently since their release of A Christmas Carol didn't do greatly well. Because of this, their partnership with Walt Disney Pictures ended up being shorter than they thought. The agreement was that the studio would officially fold after one last project was finished, released, and who knows, actually get Robert and his studio back on top. Sad to say, it didn't. Why?
Because even though I enjoyed the previous three films Image Movers Digital did, this film is an utter load of creepy, dead-eyed, motion capture tripe. So, with all that said, might as well get started. Released on March 11th, 2011, the movie is... Mars Needs Moms.
Oh, wait, you serious? Let me laugh even harder.
Alright, to be fair, I won't spoil the ending for the movie, even if it's terribly cliched. So, on with the review. 9-year-old Milo finds out just how much he needs his mom when she's kidnapped by Martians who plan to steal her momness for their own young. Milo's quest to save his mom involves stowing away on a spaceship, navigating an elaborate multi-level planet, and taking on the alien nation and their leader, the Supervisor.
And that's basically the plot in a nutshell. So, what did I think of this confusing, mind-boggling, eye-piercing travesty of an anime movie? I kinda liked it.
What?
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 What was that?
I don't know.
Anyway, yeah, I kinda like this movie, but that doesn't mean it's flawless. And trust me, there is a truckload of flaws in this film. But in order to get to that, let's move on to Trivia Time, the segment of the show where I talk about what went on during the behind the scenes of the movie.
The film is directed by Simon Wells, who directed such previous films as We're Back, Balto, The Prince of Egypt, and the 2002 live-action remake of The Time Machine. And I have to say, out of all the films he's directed, this is my least favorite. Compared to the others, this had little charm, and the amount of jokes tossed out just didn't get any laughs. I mean, there's 80s pop culture references, a baby Martian pees on an older Martian, and for some reason we get a lot of camera angles focused on the aliens' rear ends. Considering they're all females, I just find that weird on so many levels. But I will give credit to the visuals, which are outstanding. I really like the way the animators depicted Mars, kind of like a cross between the cloud city of Bespin from The Empire Strikes Back and the computer world from Tron. Plus, the musical score by John Powell is really epic and reminded me of Back to the Future in some parts.
As for the rest of the animation, let me just say this. I am sick and tired of motion capture. Seriously, if animators really wanted to make their characters look realistic, then why not just film the movie in live action? It's not that hard!
Plus, the story itself is lame. Invaders from Mars had a better plot compared to this disappointing Martian dribble. But I will admit that one part of the story did get me a bit teary-eyed, so it's just a situation where the cake batter within just doesn't seem to be well cooked. In other words, it's a little lopsided with some creative elements that showed they at least tried to do something. even if the result was eye candy over story and good characters.
And now let's talk about the characters and their voice actors. Let's start with the main character and the trouble that went on with him, not just in the movie, but during post-production too.
According to the Los Angeles Times, Seth Green spent 6 weeks outfitted in a special sensor-equipped performance capture suit while also simultaneously performing his lines in the role of Milo. During the post-production process, filmmakers noticed that Green was able to physically embody a 9-year-old, imitating the movements and behaviors of a child, but his voice sounded too mature for the character. Therefore, his voice was removed from the final print and replaced with that of 11-year-old actor Seth Robert Dusky. As for what I thought of the character, he was forgettable. But my favorite character in the movie, even if he was a little annoying, was Gribble, a human that was stranded on Mars during the 1980s, voiced by Dan Fogler. This character was a lot of fun. He made me laugh, he made me smile, and his backstory on how he got to Mars and what happened to his mother actually made me shed a tear. Yes, he can get a bit irritating at times, but overall, he's a fun character, and I'd team up with him on an adventure any day.
In fact, they should have made this movie about him. Then again, this movie is too stupid for its own good.
But the most annoying character in the whole film is definitely Key, the female Martian sidekick voiced by Elizabeth Harnois. Yeah, Alice from the Adventures in Wonderland TV series during the early 90s. Don't get me wrong, I loved that show from when I was a kid, but I just can't stand her as this character. I mean, she's a hippie. I kid you not, she is a hippie. I mean, she sprays flower graffiti on the wall, she protests against the other Martians and their government, and she learned English by watching late 1960s TV, so she says lame crap like groovy, the man, the fuzz, psychedelic, and all that other hippie garbage.
Every time she was on screen, I turned into friggin' Sam Kinison.
Somebody shoot me! Put a bullet in my head! I don't want to live!
And the worst thing is, it's hinted that at the end, she and Gribble go into a romantic relationship.
So, let me get this straight. An alien that's probably a 17-year-old teenage girl falls in love with a 35-year-old male human.
Let me tell you something, my girlfriend, I was a slob. But now look who's laughing, astronaut, it is my job. Flying around the universe, that is my duty. I even made a pit stop in Mars and got some Martian booty. Isn't that cute? But it's wrong!
Let's just skip to my final thoughts before I hurl.
Overall, Mars Needs Moms is okay, but it's still a pretty bad movie. The story is stupid, some of the characters are annoying or forgettable, and the motion capture is headache-inducing. Thank God I didn't see this movie in 3D. But as I said before, the visuals are incredible, and there are some moments that are forgivable, but the rest is just plain garbage. But there is a bright side to all this. Because the movie has bombed at the box office, Disney has cancelled Robert Zemekis' upcoming motion capture remake of the Beatles' Yellow Submarine. But that doesn't mean all motion capture is terrible. For instance, Monster House was a very good movie, and the character designs made it a lot easier to accept the process. And the upcoming Tintin movie looks like it's taking that course as well. Plus, it's by the same studio that did Avatar, so you know it's going to be awesome. It's just a shame that I can't say the same for this movie. And so, I give it a low score of 2 stars. Rent it if you want, just don't buy it. It's not worth the money.
Well, that's all for now. Oh, what the hell? Alright, who are you?
Oh, bloody hell, that was like swallowing a flash drive.
You didn't answer my question, strange computer-generated man. Who are you?
Oh yes, I am Count Sijai, the evil mind behind terrible computer-animated films.
Sijai?
I'm sorry, did I stutter? Yes, CGI. Like how CGI is pronounced as computer-generated images.
CGI, it's a play on words, and oh, that's just lame.
You're lame.
Whatever, what do you want?
I've been watching your reviews since you've started. With every computer-animated film that has been released, you've continued to enjoy them all, even the ones with mediocre animation. I have been working all my life to make audiences miserable, and I have been feeding off their misery. But you just keep things in a positive perspective, and it just makes me sick to my stomach.
I didn't watch every computer animated film released. And did you even watch the review I just now finished?
Of course I did. I was hoping for you at least break down and scream for mercy. But nothing. Not even a bloody tear.
Well, sorry to disappoint you, but I have a strong will. So, it looks like you're in for the long haul, buddy.
And just what do you think you can do to me?
Well, since you asked...
I'm a firing my laser!
Curses.
Well, be sure to join me for my next review. See you at the movies. Anime movies, that is.